A candidate for city commissioner in Montana had a solution to the homelessness problem. And if you're thinking it's building homes, no, that would make way too much sense. He's got a different idea. It's called Homeless Island, and it's as crazy as you might imagine. No, that's not a Netflix reality series, although I'm sure it would get great ratings. This is his idea for how you deal with the homeless population. So he suggested that the homeless population could live in shelters sponsored by local businesses that would include advertising for those businesses on their exteriors. He said that homeless residents would create and sell items to visitors, which would turn the location into a tourist attraction, quote, and what would bring in tourism is you could have a constant live market at all times. So his idea is, we're gonna take homeless people and we're gonna put them in buildings with a bunch of like T-Mobile ads on the outside or whatever. And then we're gonna make them create tchotchkes or whatever. And a lot of people will go because we know that generally people flock to places where they've been told there's lots of homeless people, obviously. And so they're gonna go there and then like view the homeless like some sort of open air zoo or something? Like every part of this is utter madness. And then he said what his inspiration was. And maybe that makes it all make sense. He said he was inspired by poor farms that existed in the late 19th and early 20th century where poor people could work for food and shelter. If that was your inspiration, don't say that out loud, you madman, because that makes something that already seemed pretty crazy seem even worse. So anyway, he was approached by the media about this because he'd said it at this forum and he was asked about it. And we'll give you the update on it. But Jayar, what do you make of the idea? Do you think it's workable?
I mean, it's obvious, and I think you pointed it out. So let's enslave folks, put them in some shoddy housing, and then maybe have, a viewing pleasure thing where they look at the freaks. Did you see that guy?
That's
look
what
at that
like.
woman. It's exactly what it is. So again, anytime you have to reference back to what time frame, the late 1800s, early 1900s, something like that. If you have to refer back to eras where humans were treated as animals at a far larger degrees, I guess, in societies that we like to call civilized, then I think it's pretty clear that you're trying to take things backwards. There's a regression of life, and as the rest of the world is moving forward, and you're all about regressing back in life, you're gonna go away. Like you don't exist anymore. All that's left for you to be savage and start fighting people because you can't keep up. Your brain power doesn't work the same. Your innovations aren't the same because you've suppressed anything else from other humans. You're just like a colonizer. You're the type of people that like to take over other people's accomplishments and then claim that they're yours. I mean, I guess it makes sense. That's what this entire Republican Party is about.
No, it's exactly. It has that feeling of like we're gonna set up basically it's just it's a forced labor camp, but with McDonald's ads. Like that doesn't make it better. That's not what prisons are lacking. And I love that all of them are like, how can we think outside of the box? That's literally how he defends himself. Pete Anderson, by the way, of Grand Falls, if you're interested, or Great Falls, if you're interested in supporting him, I guess. He said they're gonna create self-sustaining revenue rather than being dependent on funding via grants or city coffers. But the idea with those grants is to get people back up on their feet so that they can be a part of society. The idea is not for them to always need that funding. Again, but the idea is that these are not people like me. They'll always be dependent. That you have to believe that sort of thing to believe what he's saying. And so he goes on to say, I'm just gonna address this before it gets out of hand on Facebook. I don't think there's anything wrong with thinking outside the box and looking for creative solutions that help the safety and income of people experiencing homelessness. I don't think anything is being done currently. Please help come up with a better solution if you really care about the problem. And if you can't solve it, then just admit Homeless Island is the best idea. Here's the idea. Build a bunch of affordable housing. And if you think that homelessness is all about either a combination of drug addiction or other addictions and mental illness, like the right will say they believe, then provide funding to help with that combined with actual housing. That is how you solve the problem. The problem is not setting up a camp in the desert or a camp on an island or a camp somewhere. That's always where it starts. We have to come up with some other place that we can send them rather than helping them in the community they live in. And as long as that is your starting point, it is not creative out of the box thinking. It's just a glossed up, like it's a prison camp with some corporate sponsors. So at the end of the day, it really seems like it's the corporations that are gonna be helping, that are gonna be benefiting from this, not the actual people you purport to want to help.